Back in my second year at university, I somehow decided I had to impress this girl from a parallel class. She was one of those people who always look flawless neat clothes, light makeup, like she just stepped out of a magazine. Naturally, standing next to her, I felt like a poor distant cousin. We agreed to go to a cafe, and in my head, a brilliant plan was born. Instead of just taking a minibus like a normal student, I wanted to appear sophisticated. So I told her, my driver will pick us up. You know, like I actually had a car and a chauffeur. In reality, I just ordered a taxi and added a note. Say something like, "Where to, boss?" when they get in. Yeah, I was that naive. So we meet at her place. I'm trying to look confident, even ironed my shirt. A rare miracle. The taxi pulls up. I open the door, let her in first, sit down next to her, ready for that cinematic, impressive moment. Then the driver, either forgetting my instructions or thinking it was a dumb joke, starts the engine and with a huge grin goes. So, back to the dorms again? Silence. She turns to me and starts laughing. I turn bright red, ears burning. I try to recover. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, joke. But she just looks at me and says, "You seriously tried to pass a taxi off as your driver?" I mumble something pathetic like, "Well, it seemed funny." And I swear, I wanted to crawl out of the car through the window. The rest of the ride, she laughed while I shrank into the seat, silently cursing my brilliant plan. We went to the cafe, but she spent the whole date joking. When I become a minister, I could afford a real driver. After that, I stopped trying to be someone I wasn't. And yes, never again did I leave weird notes for taxi drivers. I had a female classmate who flirted with me constantly. She laughed at my jokes. Even the really dumb ones messaged me in the evenings, asking what I was up to. One day she says, "Come over to my place. My mom's cooking dinner." Naturally, I took it as a sign. I bought flowers and even wore my fancy shirt, the one I usually save for exams. I was ready for a romantic evening. I walk into her apartment. The table's set. Her mom greets me with a smile. Says, "Come in. Make yourself at home." I think, okay, serious introduction. I sit down, sit up straight, try to look respectable as if I'm at a job interview. About 10 minutes later, there's a knock at the door. In walks a guy with a bouquet of roses. My first thought, maybe her brother. But no, he's clearly on a date too. And then it hits me. This isn't just dinner. It's some kind of audition. We sit at the table, 3 of us, while her mom asks questions like, "What do you do in your free time? How do you feel about children? What are your plans for the future?" I glance at the other guy. He's shocked too, but trying to keep a straight face. We're both desperately trying to look like the best candidate, while the girl sits there, clearly enjoying the show. The climax comes when her mom says, "You're both good guys. Daughter, it's going to be hard to choose." At that moment, I realized this was my final appearance in that apartment. I politely finished my salad, thanked them for dinner, and announced I had urgent matters. I left and never took her flirting seriously again. Now, whenever someone invites me to dinner with the parents, my first question is always, how many other guests will there be?